Good morning, good morning. Welcome, creator. Welcome to Odessa Rose Creates. I'm Robin Schmidt, and I'm an independent chalk couture designer, here to share with you the love of chalking with our reusable silkscreen transfers that are available to purchase on my website, which is chalkcouture.com/Odessa Rose. And I'll show you that in case you want to, or a visual. There should be a link also listed. So there it is, chalkcouture.com/Odessa Rose. And we are going to do a little baseball, softball themed sign today, using our transfer Work Hard, Play Hard. And I found this little pallet board frame on the clearance section at Walmart last night. And I thought, well, this will be cute little sign we can make. And then just today I thought of the whole baseball thing. So I was initially going to just draw like a home base on here, and then I saw this cool photo. Let me show that to you on my iPad here. And it kind of has the base down here in the corner. So I was trying to draw the angles of the base, and then I'm going to like texturize the palette board to look like dirt, but I couldn't quite get the angles right. I was trying to draw it on, as you can see. So I just stretched this out and put a piece of paper over it and traced out my angles that I needed to give me that home base that I needed down in that corner. So I just drew that. So I'm going to cut this out, and then I'll end up tracing that and painting that in, the white color. And we'll use that as the base down here in the corner to look like to make it look like this. So this is going to be our simulation of our background, about like this maybe, and it'll be square. And we'll make this look like dirt with some paint. We'll paint in the base, and then we'll put this over the top. That's my plan. So let's see if we can get it to come to life like that. Kind of giving it that 3D dimension. So let's see who's watching today. I'm gonna say good morning, good morning. I gotta find it. Usually it's listed here, but yeah. And hit that arrow button. Share it to all you crafter friends out there, those who like to create. There it is, finally. Okay. Let's see who's on. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Merrick. I know I always say your wrong name. I'm sure I'm saying your name wrong. Merrick. It looks like Merrick. No, Mary Carol. Maybe it's just as simple as that. I don't know. Oh gosh. So let's get started. So first we're going to paint some brown on this. And if you're just joining, don't mind my pencil drawings here. But I just kind of explained how I'm going to make this into a baseball home base feel. We're going to put this home base down in the corner with paint. But let me go back to show you the photograph that I'm kind of going off of. It's got this home base in the corner, and we're going to try to make it look like dirt in the background. Paint in this home base, and we'll put some dirt on it too, and then we're going to put the transfer over all of it. Work hard, play hard. So we're just going to play with some paint, and we'll see what happens. So let's make sure our hangers are at the top. And I need to get a thing of water. I didn't get that for my brush. Let me grab that. And I'm just going to use some craft paints in different shades of browns. And just kind of, and I'll probably do a little bit of paper towel pressing at the, after I get it brown, to give it kind of some dirt feel of different textures. But let's just slap on some brown paint for now, and see where we're at. I wish I had, let me go to a bigger brush. I wish I had, oh, I do have brown paint somewhere. Here it is. I don't know what I'm thinking. If I can get this open, I might have to bang it. There we go. Kind of have some brown paint in here. This will help give it a good base coat first. And you know what else I need to do? Put cardboard underneath. Because I don't want to get paint on my mat. Chalk paste comes up, but regular paint can stay on there a while. So there we go. Okay, I'm trying to get it together here, Robin. So let's just paint this brown. And then we'll paper towel press on some different shades of brown to make it look like dirt. The infield or the baseball field. Get the edges a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so let's just get this. I just picked this sign up at Walmart last night in the clearance section. I think it was $1 or $2. But of course, you can use any surface. Get that edge painted a little bit. Yesterday I had my grandkids. They're remodeling their house, and Vivi, who's in first grade, is on spring break. So both she and Hank have been home a couple days, and you know, you can just get a lot more done if you don't have to deal with the kids at your house. And of course, they kept the newborn at home because he's nursing, but oh my goodness. All right, let's dry this, and then we will add some other shades of brown to make it look like dirt with the paper towel press. So let's see who else is watching this morning. Good morning, good morning. Say hi. Hi, Beth. I am getting dirty today, right? That's why I got my robe on, because I'm messing with my paint. Let's dry this up. We're going to make a little baseball sign with home base here in the corner with the dirt infield in the background. Let's see. We've got other people watching and need to say hello yet. Denise and Stephanie, Pam. Dry this up real quick. We're making a baseball sign. This is going to look like dirt, infield. We're going to put the shape, this shape of a base, home base, which I traced off a photograph. You see it there? That's going to be our pattern to paint in our home base. And then we're going to put this on top. Just about dry. Okay. So I'm going to put the lid back on this. I don't want any accidents with spilling paint. I don't think it's quite on there straight. There we go. All right, and let's press on some light brown, tannish, maybe even a darker brown. Could even go with some grayish, beigey color. And we're just gonna press in with some paper towels and get some different texture going on there. All right. So I always wet my little craft brush, just plop some paint on it. And then you just kind of, with the really wet brush, just brush that around. Doesn't even have to be too picky. And lightly pat that. We're just going to start getting some texture off the print of the paper towel. Let me show you what it looks like so far. You can see I mean, it's wet, but you can see the texture of that darker brown, right? And now we're going to do another shade. We're going to dry it so this stays on. And then we'll do another shade of browns and grays. Just keep pressing on the paint, the texture. Looks like texture. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, good morning. I'm heading to my sister's. It's about a 2-hour drive from here this afternoon. And then tomorrow, there'll be 4 gals. 3 other gals and I are going to drive up to Pella, Iowa, which is a Dutch community. They have one of our friends have never been there, so we're going to go and just visit the town for the day. So I'm going on an outing, which I don't get to do much. Well, nobody has much lately, right? Okay, let's take another lighter tannish shade of paint and do the same thing. And just make sure your brush is wet. Just swirl it around on here. Some areas are going to be heavier in the color than others, which is fine. Because it's going to look, we're mimicking dirt in the infield of a baseball diamond. So we're going to press some of this out. I guess it doesn't matter too much in this area because we're going to paint our home base right there. But let's just give it some texture. And there's our lighter color now. And so now let's do kind of a grayish, and then I might go back to a dark brown on top. Gotta dry it. I might turn it this way and run the paint the other direction. Good morning, Anne. How are you today, Miss Anne? I know a lot of you are just joining, so I'm going to go back and explain what I'm doing. what my final goal will be. Okay, so first of all, I found this surface at Walmart on clearance. It came in gray like this. It was just $1 or $2. But today I was going through my transfers. I have this brand new one, which I haven't used it. And so I thought, let's do something with this transfer. And I kind of thought of baseball. And my first thought was to just paint a baseball home plate on here. And so I Googled home base image to make sure I get the right dimensions. And that's when I found this photo. Let me show you. And it kind of has the home base in the corner with the dirt. And I thought, well, that would look pretty cool. So then I was trying to draw this shape. You know, it's looking like it's angled out, right? And I couldn't quite get it. So then I just stretched it out to the size I need. And I just marked the points of each corner, and then I just drew in the lines. So we're going to, let me get out of the glare. We're going to cut this shape out, lay it on here, and trace it, and then I'll paint this section in the off-white and put a little dirt on it to make it look like the photograph. And when we get all that done, then this is going to lay on top. We'll silk screen this on the top. So that's my goal today. So I am making dirt on my board using different shades of brown. First I painted the gray in a brown, and then now I'm paper towel pressing different shades of brown on it to give it some dimension of dirt. So that's where we're at right now. So I did a darker brown in a tannish color. And now I'm going to do kind of a gray beige color. And then I'll hit it back again probably with dark brown. So I'm going to turn my plate, my sign, so I get all my brush strokes kind of right now are going left to right. So I kind of want to change the dimension of that. So we're going to go vertical and brush them this way. So I always make sure I have a really wet brush, and I just kind of smear this over it. Okay, and then just keep your brush wet and just keep brushing it on. And then our paper towel will pick up most of it, but it will leave some high-lows impressions from the pattern of the paper towel, or the texture of the paper towel. I'm not really looking for a pattern necessarily on this design. So I'm just taking my paper towel and just pressing it out. So this will kind of be the highlights of the sun hitting the dirt. You know, it's kind of a lighter shade. So just press out until you get the desired amount of color on your board. Some areas are going to be heavier in the paint than others, which you want, because you want it to be uniform. You don't want it to be perfectly perfect. I'm going to dry this, and then I'm going to hit it with dark brown again, back on top. Okay. So here's where we're at now. So we're just adding more and more layers of the colors of dirt. So I'm going to dry it and hit it with the dark brown. Then we'll paint in our base and dirty it up a little bit. I don't want as much dirt on it as, you know, the dirt, so. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my dark brown. I may even use this different dark brown just to give it another color. And I may do this one around the edges a little bit more, just because our sentiment is going to go in here. And I'll probably do it in black, I'm thinking. So if I leave the lighter colors to the inside and the darker ones to the outside, that'll kind of frame it, you could say. Okay. And press again. Going a little bit more dark right on top of this really light spot right here. Okay, I think I pretty much got it how I want it. Now I'm just going to dry it and put a little wax on it. Well, I'll paint in the base, and then we will wax it before we silk screen. Just hitting some of the really light areas with the wet brush here. It's got paint on it. Let's cut out our base, home base that I traced, and then we'll trace that onto the sign. Okay, so there's that. It's like this. Probably like right in here. So I just need to take my pencil, trace around it. I might even take, when I'm done painting this in, I'll take like the black chalk pin and kind of go around it, because the base kind of has a, you know, it's white and then it has like a black lip edge to the home base. So I'll kind of put in some black around the edge. So I'm going to take my Raw Silk Fusion Mineral Paint, which is kind of an off-white, which I think will be the perfect color for this. And I'm just going to paint in my home base on my baseball infield here that we just created. Might have to get a smaller brush to get in these angles. Grab a smaller brush. Okay, getting there. Okay, so this is my base. I think I only needs one coat since I'm going to put some dirt on it. You know, they're not perfectly clean. Okay. Dry that. Kind of feel like it could use a second coat in some areas, so I'm just going to brush over it again real quick here. I want it to look good. I think I might pull this off. We'll see. No, Gail, I've never done the Vaseline technique. Sounds cool. I know I've heard about it. So you base coat and then you put Vaseline, paint over it, and you rub it all off, and then it'll show the undercoat. I think it's kind of how it was done. My nose is running, of course. Let me see how I tell you, my chalk markers never work the best, but on what I want them to do. I'm gonna try it, and just kind of want to give it a good outline. Ooh, just splattered black on my... Don't shake these when you have the cap off. Oh, goodness. I don't like... Oh, that's bleeding. I'm not always a fan of these markers. They bleed out, which this one is doing. Gosh, look at all that. Let me grab a white. I do want some of that black to come down this way, but I don't want it to come down that far. Good thing I want this to look dirty, because it is dirty. I do want to paint that in black. I gotta get my black paint out. Let me dry it. Finish my base. I want that black edge around it. If I can get this open. There we go. Grab a little black brush. hold it up so you can see where we're at. So I'm gonna, this is from my ink pen, or my chalk pen, but I'm gonna finish black edge around this base, because it does have a black, kind of a lip to them. And I'm just gonna paint that in. There, that's starting to look like a home base. Okay. All right, I'm gonna paint or dry, and then we will put on a little bit of dirt on top of our base. It's starting to look three-dimensional now. Pretty cool. I'll put a little bit of dirt on it. Okay, make sure this is dry. All right, back to the brush I was using. We're just going to paper towel press a little bit of brown, a couple shades of brown on top of the base to make it look like dirt is on it. Not much. And let's go to the lighter brown. Just making sure it's pretty wet. I'm turning my paper towel so I don't have distinct patterns from the print. I'm going to wet it again because I want to lighten it up just a little bit more. So I'm going to wet it down and pick up some more paint. There we go. Looks pretty cool. See it there? Does it look like it has dirt on it? Okay, so now I'm going to dry and wax everything, and then we're going to just put our transfer on, and it'll be done. All right, let me see. I'd love to know your angle, your camera. Well, it's just, it's right here. It's about the same height as my face, and then it's tilted down just a little bit. So let's try this. Go ahead and put the stained Minwax, the special dark, on it. So that'll even make it even more dirty looking. This is to keep the paint on the surface and not sticking to the back of my transfer, which allows my transfer to come up off the board easier without stretching out my transfer. It also helps if my transfer would have a bleed through. Having that wax there underneath will help me be able to clean up the chalk paste if I would have something imperfect that I'd want to get off of my board. It makes it, instead of having that pigment of the chalk paste dry or absorb into my paint, it'll just lay on top of this wax, and then you can pick it up, wipe it up easier if it's sitting on top of wax. So I'm just waxing this in. Okay, looks pretty good. I'm going to show you the board before we put our transfer on. So I'm going to do it in black. And it really looks pretty cool, really dimensional. Like, I hope you can tell it's a home base. So here's our transfer. Work hard, play hard. And we are going to lay that on top and put it in black. Right here, just like that. Brand new transfer, so I am going to put a little fuzz on it. Even though I waxed, it probably won't stick too hard, but I am going to put a little fuzz on it. Just kind of also tells me how sticky it is. It's feeling pretty sticky. You could tell by how well it sticks to a towel, how sticky your transfer is. All right. And bring it down just so the word hard isn't landing into too much into the black of the base of the baseball home base. And know, going into the letters. Just seeing how I am left and right. Not too bad. Actually pretty perfect. Okay, so since this is a palette board and you got all those seams between your boards, you want to make sure you press out down into those cracks as well as you can, so you don't have any bleed through underneath your transfer on your print. So press it out really well. These boards are pretty even, so you're not having any highs and lows too much, so that's good. I'm gonna grab my black paste. Oh, that's my brand new one. Let's see, I should have one that's already opened. There we go. I think it needs a little bit of water. I think I was just using this, but it seems really thick. Of course, if you're new to chalking, our new chalk paste formulas are creamy and they pretty much stay creamy. You don't have to hydrate them too much compared to our old chalk paste. But the old chalk paste can thicken up on you, so you need to add water to get it back to a creamy consistency. So that's what I'm doing now. It's just pretty thick. I think this is the jar I've been using. Trying to use up my older paste before I just replace them with the new ones. There's no sense of wasting it. Okay, let's get that water mixed in. So we don't have a bleed through by having too watery of chalk paste. Okay. I'm going to take a small squeegee, apply a large amount of it on, and I'm just going to squeegee it over. Just make sure you get all the silk screened areas filled in. Alright, now you want to remove the extra or any excess paste that's sitting here on top of your silk screen, because you want your print to be thin. You don't want it to be thick because you left too much paste on it. So skim it down, smooth out your squeegee lines because they do show up. And now we can remove this off. And there's our baseball sign. Work hard, play hard. Turned out pretty cute. I'm gonna dry it. Put a little wax on top just to harden up that chalk paste, harden up the whole surface again. Once that wax dries, it hardens. That's why they use it on, some people use it on furniture. But there, looks pretty cute. Can you tell it's a baseball home base? I hope so. I think so. Thanks, Linda. I literally just thought of this a few minutes before I went on. I was trying to decide what to do. And so there. Okay. There it is, guys. Thanks for watching me today. I will be gone tomorrow. I'm going to Pella, Iowa with some friends for the day. And so I should be back next week. I had my immunization shot Tuesday, and the only thing I had was a sore arm for a day. I didn't have any side effects, no headache or anything. So hopefully that'll happen on the second one. You guys have a great weekend, and I will chalk with you later. Bye.